Oh, it is week 3. RotoBros Start Sit Sunday. RotoBros Live, week 3 Start Sit Sunday. Welcome into the show, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to be getting you guys ready for week 3, getting your start sit questions answered. And I know a lot of you coming into this week are 2-0 thanks to this show. I know. I get it. You're welcome. I just... No, I hope a lot of you are have a good start off to the season. Obviously, there's some players who, getting off to a little bit of a slow start. People are starting to like overreact. Like overreacting, oh, Antonio Gibson's not an RB5, like he's not RB5. Like, calm down. Like, let's settle down. Everything's going to be okay. Things are going to even itself out. We're 2 weeks in. We've got, what do we got, like 16 weeks to go or something like that? Just calm down. Relax, folks. Relax. Again, welcome into the show, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I do want to get to a little bit of news as well real quick before we get started here. By the way, we know that yesterday, so over the weekend, we found out that Fantasy Pros Mike Tagliere had passed away due to, I believe, complications with COVID, and he was fully vaccinated, by the way. But we would just want to send I want to send my condolences to Mike Tagliere and his wife Tabby, his wonderful kids as well. I worked closely with Mike on the Fantasy Black Book that you can find on Amazon. You can check that out. But we wrote for 2 years. We worked together on the Fantasy Black Book together, and he's just an excellent guy. Just an awesome individual, and deepest condolences. We lost a good one. We lost a pioneer to the industry, and more importantly, we lost a great father, husband, and friend. So rest in peace, Mike Tagliere. Guys, listen, real quick. I know a lot of you are probably looking at the Giants matchup with the Falcons, and Matt Ryan even agrees it's a tasty matchup for all Giants. However, if you are deploying Kenny Golladay, or if you own Sterling Shepard or Darius Slayton, maybe even Evan Ingram, you need to think about the fact and remember the fact that it came out this morning Kenny Golladay is going to be on a reduced snap count. He's just going to be on a reduced snap count. So keep that in mind if you are deploying Kenny Golladay. I've got him in one league. I will be moving him out of my starting lineup after the show. All right, let's get to these questions here. Brandon Rodriguez has the first question of the day. Patterson or Myers in flex PPR? I'm going to go with Patterson here. I do. I think it would not surprise me at all. First of all, it's a good matchup. Second of all, it looks like he's getting more work. Mike Davis through 2 weeks hasn't really done much. And for me, I believe Cordell Patterson really has a chance here to supplant Mike Davis as the starter. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen this week or even next week. But if he continues to play well and Mike Davis continues to struggle, there's going to be a legitimate question in Atlanta's backfield. Not that it ultimately matters because we can't pass block, we can't run, we don't have an offensive line, okay? And Matt says no bueno to that. So, obviously there's some issues going on there with Atlanta's backfield. So I would try to stay away if you can, but I will play Patterson over Jacoby Myers, who he's a good receiver. He's a decent receiver. Just doesn't have a good ceiling. Ryan Tannehill or Daniel Jones? It's got to be Daniel Jones for me this week. Look, typically it's going to be Ryan Tannehill, but it's Daniel Jones for me. I mean, look, Tannehill doesn't have a great matchup with Indy's defense. I do think it's going to be a competitive game. I think it'll be a good game, but man, if Daniel Jones, I know a lot of you like to poke fun at me because I'm a Daniel Jones guy and I believe in him. This is going to be his last year. If he plays the way he played last week, the rest of the season, they're not drafting a quarterback. Daniel Jones is the guy. This is what Daniel Jones can do when he's being properly protected. So Daniel Jones has this ability that we saw last week. But again, it's one game. So we'll see if he can do it against Atlanta this week. If he can't do it against Atlanta this week, there may not be any more hope. But I'm going to go Daniel Jones this week due to matchup. Joseph Woods, Devin Singletary, or Kenyan Drake. Guys, come on. It's Kenyan Drake. Kenyan Drake. Josh Jacobs probably not going to play either. I believe he may have already even been ruled out. But Kenyan Drake's going to be the guy. Look, he's going to split a little bit with Peyton Barber here and there. but he should start the game, and obviously he has a much higher floor than Peyton Barber anyway because of the fact that he is the primary pass catcher. So Kenyan Drake's going to be fine, and I trust him a lot more than I trust Devin Singletary against the Washington football team's defense. So give me Kenyan Drake all day long. Julio Jones or David Montgomery in the flex. I have Chubb and Najee starting in the 2 RB spots. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I like David Montgomery today. I like him. I like David Montgomery, and a little heads up, I've been trying to acquire David Montgomery in a few leagues, and I'm looking at you, Joseph Woods. We are in a league together, and I need you to answer my trade request. I want David Montgomery. I feel like our trade is mutually beneficial, so let's get something done, my man. If you don't like it, counter me. Let's make something happen. I do like David Montgomery this week. I know a lot of people are like, Justin Fields' first game. But you got to remember, these RPOs are typically going to help running backs, right? Because you are freezing defenders. So it really does a lot of good to have Justin Fields in, for which I think is going to be the rest of the season, because now there's news about Andy Dalton's injury being a little bit more serious than previously thought. So this is the perfect opportunity for Justin Fields to start today, and obviously start the rest of the year, which I think is going to happen. So Andy Dalton is no more in Chicago, barring a Justin Fields injury. So Justin Fields, I think this is a great thing for David Montgomery, especially today. So I'm going to go David Montgomery over Julio Jones all day long. Sony Michel or Swift, standard score. Listen, Thomas, you're never starting Sony Michel over Swift. Sony Michel has a horrible matchup, number one. Number two, he's just not a very good football player anymore, and it's DeAndre Swift. I know DeAndre's he's a better play in PPR because he's going to catch the majority of those passes in the backfield, but look, it's DeAndre Swift. He's got that ceiling. Even in standard, you got to play him. So it's DeAndre Swift for me. Marvin Jones or Odell Beckham Jr., I'm going to go Marvin Jones here. Look, OBJ's first game back from injury. You don't really know what to expect. I know Jarvis Landry's out, so that's why there's the question there. Jarvis is on IR, so he'll miss 3 games. Maybe I'm more inclined to play OBJ next week, but MJJ's got a game where they're going to probably be throwing a lot. So game script, and they're playing a secondary that's not that good, number one, and so they should be able to throw the ball. MJJ so far leads the team in receptions, targets, receiving yards. So like he is. I'm a DJ Chark guy, but right now Marvin Jones has been their most reliable receiver through 2 games. I don't see any reason why that changes this week. I don't hate DJ Chark as a play as well, but MJJ to me is a better play than OBJ. So give me Marvin Jones in a game where I think the game script favors Marvin Jones. They are going to have to throw. So give me Marvin Jones over OBJ this week. Tyler Boyd on the bench. Do I play him over Jefferson, Woods, or Lockett? I think I would play him over Robert Woods. And only because T. Higgins is likely not going to play. Now, if something miraculous happens and T. Higgins plays, then yes, you're playing Robert Woods. But if in fact it is confirmed that Higgins is out this week, and I can't recall, I don't believe it is confirmed. I think it's doubtful that he plays. But if he is in fact out, yes, I think you're going to go Tyler Boyd in a juicy matchup with Joe Burrow against the Steelers with no J.J. Watt. Like, I think the Bengals are going to win this game, and I think the passing game is going to look really, really good today. I also think Joe Mixon's a good play as well. So give me Tyler Boyd over Robert Woods this week. Tannehill or Derek Carr? I'm going to go Derek Carr. I mean, he's red hot right now. I'm going to ride that train as much as I can. So give me Derek Carr over Tannehill. I understand the argument for Ryan Tannehill, but I still think the Titans are like getting the new kinks worked out of this offense. You know, they lost Arthur Smith to Atlanta. I don't know. I'm not sold on this Titans offense outside of Derrick Henry so far yet this year. So give me Derek Carr. I'll ride the hot hand there. Marvin Jones against Atlanta. Marvin Jones does not play Atlanta. Marvin Jones plays Arizona. I think that's what you meant. Or Chase against Pittsburgh. I'm never playing Marvin Jones over Jamar Chase, especially in a game where T. Higgins is sitting. So it's Jamar Chase by default. Set that and forget it. Good morning. Well, let's see here. Where'd that question go? They're coming in hot, guys. So I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. Good morning. Pick 2: Marvin Jones, Devontae Smith, OBJ, Tyson Williams. I'll take Devontae Smith tomorrow night against Dallas, and I will take Tyson Williams. How do you feel about OBJ? It depends on obviously what your options are, but for the most part, I think I'm pretty much going to sit him this week. I'm just going to sit him, and I'm gonna let 1 week kind of go by with Jarvis out. Look, his first game back from injury. I kind of pumped the brakes on OBJ a little bit. I don't think he's a terrible play, but in all the leagues that I own OBJ, I have significantly better options, so I'm going to go there. By the way, guys, real quick, I want to take a quick break and let you guys know, hey, join the RotoBros Fantasy Football, the Fantasy Advice Lounge. Go to patreon.com/RotoBros. You see it scrolling across there at the bottom. It's super cheap. It's the best place to. It's only $2, guys. It's $2, and you get all your start sits, your trades, your waiver questions answered during the week, even before this show. So it's a great way, because I can't get to all the questions on the show. So it's a great way to get all of your questions throughout the week answered in a timely fashion. It's the highest IQ fantasy community you're going to find. Get off fantasy Facebook. Get off fantasy Twitter. Check out the RotoBros Fantasy Advice Lounge. You will not regret it. Amazing community, high IQ community. Very, very friendly. You guys are absolutely going to love it. We cover DFS. We cover best ball. So if you want to win some money, we got you covered there as well. So we really do have a channel for pretty much everything, even baseball and basketball. So check it out. Go to patreon.com/RotoBros. You're going to get a lot with your subscription. I can promise you that. And look, the best part is the first 2 months are free. So essentially the first 2 months of the season, half the season is free. So check it out. Again, go to patreon.com/RotoBros. All right, pick one, PPR, Will Fuller, Latavius Murray, DJ Chark. I will go with DJ Chark. Jamar Chase, OBJ, Michael Pittman. I'll go with Jamar Chase, Michael Pittman, OBJ in that order. I do think Pittman is a solid start this week against a porous Tennessee secondary, along with Carson Wentz starting this week. So give me Michael Pittman. That's a confident play for me this week. I think ESPN's a little lower on him, but who cares what they think? It's all about what the RotoBros think, right? RotoBros. Robert Lewis. Who to start at running back? I have Henderson, who is questionable. Henderson is unlikely to play, by the way. He is very doubtful, so he is probably out. I have Henderson, who is questionable, 1 point PPR. Tony Pollard, Latavius Murray, Cordell Patterson, J.D. McKissic, or Kenny Gainwell. I will start Tony Pollard. I'll go Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard, Kenny Gainwell, J.D. McKissic in that order. And then I think I get to Cordell Patterson. But it's all four a toss-up. Trust your gut on it, but I would go I'm taking the talent behind the good offensive line. Give me Tony. On the good offense, give me Tony Pollard. Play one, PPR, CEH, Drake, Patterson, or Madison. It's going to be Alex Madison, number 1, with Dalvin Cook out. It's going to be Drake, number 2, CEH, 3, and then Patterson would be 4. Sermon, Marvin Jones, Rondale Moore, or Sermon, Marvin Jones, or Rondale Moore in the flex. Let me flex right now for the Sermon Army. It is Trey Sermon time. Finally, baby. Trey Sermon is in. Elijah Mitchell likely out. It is a Trey Sermon kind of day. I'm going to get naked. I'm going to get naked if Trey Sermon has a great fantasy day. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to let you know right now. I'm excited. Trey Sermon. Sermon Army assemble, baby. I can't wait. I'm excited. It's going to be Trey Sermon over Marvin Jones and Rondale Moore for me. PPR flex. Drake versus Miami. Boyd versus the Steelers. That's a tough one. I think I'll go Drake in sort of a revenge game against Miami. So I would take Drake there over Boyd just slightly. They're both good plays today. They're both really good plays. But give me Kenyan Drake. PPR, I need 2. Debo, BMW, or Julio. Well, I'm not sitting Debo right now. So give me Debo, number 1. And I will go with... that's tough, man. That's tough. I'm going to go Julio. I'm taking the talent. I'm going Julio. I can't advise people. I can't advise people to start BMW over Julio when I wouldn't do it myself. I'm not going to advise you to do something that I would not do myself. So give me Julio Jones over Big Mike Williams. Chase Claypool, Marquise Brown. Give me Chase Claypool, especially with no Deontay Johnson. He is out this week. Give me Chase Claypool against the Bengals, which I think is going to be a really, really good game today. Steelers and Bengals. With Higgins out, half-point PPR, Osborne, Ayuk, or Woods. You're going to go Woods, Ayuk, Osborne in that order. Look, KJ Osborne's a nice little story, but he's not going to be able to keep up this pace. He's just not, unfortunately. Like he's a good little player. He's fun, all that, but he's not. He's going to end up being more of a deep DFS tournament play than he is a sustainable season-long play. You're going to be cutting KJ Osborne before long. I can promise you that, because he's just not going to be able to keep up this pace. So I'm not touching him this week. Go ahead and give me Robert Woods over those guys. OBJ or Juju, give me Juju Smith-Schuster with no Deontay Johnson. Who to start at running back? I have Henderson, who is questionable, 1-point PPR. Oh, I think I just answered that. Tony Pollard's the answer there. Brennan Richardson, Allen Robinson, or Sterling Shepard. Okay, look, I get it. Okay, I get it. Sterling Shepard, Kenny Galladay's playing decreased snaps. Sterling Shepard has a good matchup against Atlanta. However, he is probably going to be shadowed by A.J. Terrell. A.J. Terrell's been pretty good. I'm just saying. However, regardless, you're not benching Allen Robinson. You're just not. You're never going to bench Allen Robinson. He is a set-it-and-forget-it player. He's the most disrespected, underappreciated, underrated wide receiver in the entire NFL. Allen Robinson is an absolute alpha, and he just gets the job done no matter what. So Allen Robinson is the guy for me. I think he's in a better shape. I think he's in better shape now with Justin Fields starting. So it's Allen Robinson all day long. I'm not even thinking twice about that. James White over CEH. I won't go that far. In PPR, I could maybe understand a little bit more. Definitely not in standard. Look, I am typically not going to completely jump off ship on guys until after week 4 or like right before. But CEH has got to do something, guys. He is just right. He's not it, man. He's not it. And it is entirely possible that he's just not that good. He's just not that good. This is why you don't draft running backs in the first round. I don't, in real life, like it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, I'll take CEH, but man, I'm not super excited about it. So if you do James White for the floor, bro, I totally get it. I'm not gonna crucify you over that at all. Dak or Jalen Hurts, you're never gonna bench. You're never benching Dak Prescott. I love Jalen Hurts. He's gonna be a QB1 this year in fantasy as long as he stays healthy. You can't ever bench Dak Prescott. So the ceiling is way too high. Hollywood Brown, Devontae Smith, Javonte Williams. Devontae Smith, Javonte Williams, Hollywood Brown in that order, but it's Devontae Smith if you're choosing one. OBJ or Jamar Chase, you're never going to start OBJ over Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, the de facto number 1 wide receiver for Joe Burrow, I'm just not going to trust OBJ over Jamar Chase. So give me Jamar Chase for sure. Joe Burrow obviously agrees. James White or Latavius Murray. Give me Latavius Murray in full point PPR. He's giving you that high floor. Look, Latavius Murray's not good. Are you guys watching these Ravens games? Tyson Williams is the only running back on that roster that has any juice whatsoever. He is by far the best running back on that team. And he's only going to continue to get more work because if I see it and we see it, John Harbaugh sees it. Okay? Latavius Murray is bad. He is legitimately bad. He is a plodder. He is slow. He is not good. But yeah, give me James White in PPR, especially PPR over Latavius Murray. Trey Sermon or Myles Gaskin. I love being able to say this. Trey Sermon. Sermon Army assemble! Everybody get ready for Trey Sermon Day. It is Trey Sermon Day. That's what I'm dubbing it, Trey Sermon Day. Everybody get ready. Tony Pollard or CEH. I will go Tony Pollard here. Tyson Williams or Trey Sermon. I like both this week. Give me Trey Sermon as long as Elijah Mitchell is out. If Elijah Mitchell plays, it's not as much of a Trey Sermon day. But if Elijah Mitchell's out, which it looks like he is, go ahead and give me Trey Sermon. Madison over James Robinson in standard. Madison over James Robinson in every single fantasy format. Sony versus Sermon. Do not even think about starting Sony Michel against Tampa Bay over Trey Sermon. It is Trey Sermon. How do you feel about Mike Davis this week? Says Dominic Hogan. I do not like Mike Davis this week. It would have to be absolute desperation of epic proportions for me to start Mike Davis this week. Sony Michel or Leonard Fournette. I will go with Leonard Fournette. He's a better player. Give me Leonard Fournette. I don't really like either one of them this week, but I'll take Leonard Fournette if push. Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts. Give me Jalen Hurts. Corey, my man. Evan Ingram or Austin Hooper. Don't like either one, but I'll go Evan Ingram in a tasty matchup. First game back. Tannehill or Daniel Jones. Give me Daniel Jones. So you got the the Jones-Ingram stack there. I don't think you need to expect anything from either Hooper or Evan Ingram. I'm just playing based off matchup here. It's Evan Ingram. Let's see. Great night of fights last night. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It's also a great night of baseball. So go Bravos. Chop on, baby. Getting it done against the Padres. Christy Alfred says flex McKissick, Boyd, Pittman, or Javonte Williams with Hendo out. I'm going to go Boyd, Pittman, McKissick, Williams in that order. So Tyler Boyd is number 1. Mixon versus Pittsburgh or Sterling Shepard versus Atlanta. Come on, it's the RB1 on the one of the RB1s on the year. It's Joe Mixon, man. You got it. You can't. You're never gonna bench Joe Mixon for Sterling Shepard. Even today, you're never gonna bench Joe Mixon, especially when T.J. Watt is out for Pittsburgh. When the best defensive player in the league, arguably, is out. Yeah, you pay attention to that. Joe Mixon is an excellent play today at running back. Sermon, Marvin Jones, or Rondale Moore. Give me Trey Sermon over Marvin and Rondale. What to do with D-Hop? Look, he's playing. He's likely going to play, it looks like. So if he plays, you play him. Like, you don't... He's the best receiver in the NFL. Like, you can't take him out. You got to play DeAndre Hopkins. You got to trust him. Mike Davis or Chase Edmonds in standard. Give me Chase Edmonds. I don't really like either one. Give me Chase Edmonds, though. Pick 1, PPR. Fuller, Latavius Murray, DJ Chark. Give me DJ Chark. Randy Sturm, Marvin Jones, or Robert Woods. I will take Robert Woods in PPR. James Robinson or Alex Madison. Alex Madison by 1.75 miles. Brennan Richardson, Hurts or Dak. Again, you're never benching Dak, so it's Dak Prescott for sure. Hold on, just lost my place again here, guys. I apologize. We're getting there. I'm gonna try to answer all these guys. Let's see. Carson or Madison with Cookout. I'm gonna go with Madison over Carson by a hair, but it's a coin flip, man. It's a coin flip, Miguel. So I would just I'd flip a coin on that. Trust your gut. Pick 1 for flex. Sanders, Boyd, or Tyson Williams. I will go with Boyd and then Tyson Williams in that order. But Boyd and Tyson, very, very close. Very, very close. I love Tyson. Love me some TSW this week. Marquise is questionable. Slayton Renfro or Marquise Brown. Give me Darius Slayton. I like Darius Slayton this week with Kenny Golladay playing limited snaps. I think Slayton's going to catch a one long bomb as long as he can not bobble it out of the end zone this week like you did last week. Patriots or Raiders D? Give me the Patriots D, but I think it's pretty close. Give me Patriots D, though. Need 2. A.J. Brown, Mike Evans, Jamar Chase, Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore is never going to start over any of those guys, ever. I just want to make that perfectly clear. Never is Rondale Moore going to start over A.J. Brown, Mike Evans, or Jamar Chase. I will take A.J. Brown and Jamar Chase this week. The reason being Mike Evans gets Jalen Ramsey more than likely, so I'll just let the cornerback matchup make the decision for me there. Give me Jamar Chase and A.J. Brown. Let's see. Pittman or Kirk in PPR flex. Give me Michael Pittman Jr. Dusty Dunaway, what's the status of Evan Ingram? Should he be in play? He probably shouldn't be in play if you have him in fantasy, but if you're desperate, there's a league where I'm desperate at tight end. I've got him and Ertz as my tight ends. Yeah, I'm hurting. So I have to play him. So yeah, give me Evan Ingram there. But Ingram is supposed to play. He is supposed to start. But I wouldn't be excited about it. I would not expect a whole lot. Dominic Hogan, Sermon or J-Rob? Trey Sermon, baby. Trey Sermon. It's Trey Sermon day here in week 3. Let's see. 12-team PPR Flex 1. Michael Pittman, Mike Davis, Kenyan Drake, Tyler Boyd, or James White. I will go with Tyler Boyd, Michael Pittman, Kenyan Drake. Those are my top 3 there. And they're all 3 very, very close. So if you're thinking about Drake, trust your gut, go with him. I will go with Tyler Boyd this week. But again, it's a coin flip with all 3 of those guys. They're all good plays. Gibson or Madison? Okay, I was waiting for a question like this. I was waiting for this. It is really hard for me to tell somebody to bench Antonio Gibson, okay? But for Alex Madison this week, I'm doing it. I like both. I like Madison more. With Dalvin Cook out against the Seattle defense, give me Alex Madison. It's close, but again, I'll take Madison over Antonio Gibson. Look, Antonio Gibson is going to be fine this year. People are panicking on Antonio Gibson, like I said at the beginning of the show. panicking because J.D. McKissic's involved. J.D. McKissic's going to remain involved. He's a good pass catcher, okay? He's not going to be the primary pass catcher anymore. That is still going to be Antonio Gibson. But we do have to remember J.D. McKissic is going to be involved, okay? So I'm gonna say Madison here. It is close for me, and it's difficult for me to do that, but I am doing the same thing in one of my leagues where I have both. So again, I'm not going to tell you guys to do something that I'm not doing myself. So give me Alex Madison over Antonio Gibson. I think he's an excellent play today. Mike Davis or James White in PPR. I will go with James White. PPR, Woods, Pittman, BMW. I will go with Woods, Pittman, BMW in that order. Who will be the safest option? Josh Allen in the wind today or Dak versus the Eagles? I'm never sitting Dak for Josh. I'm just not. I'm never sitting Dak. So give me Dak in a rivalry game against the Eagles defense on Monday night. It's Dak Prescott. I think he shows out and blows up there. Scott Gaiman says Herbert or Cousins. Give me Kirk Cousins. Give me Kirk Cousins, baby. I love Kirk Cousins this week. He's so disrespected. He was the biggest value at quarterback all season long, all draft season. And I just think that Kirk Cousins, to me, is he's just very underappreciated. He just gets the job done. Give me Kirk. It's close. Both are good plays. But give me Kirk Cousins this week against Seattle. I think that's going to be a high-scoring game, and I think it's going to be a fantasy fest, to be quite honest with you. Who will score more this week? Half-point PPR, Calvin Ridley versus the Giants, DK versus the Vikings. I'm going Calvin Ridley. I can't. It's too good of a matchup. Give me Calvin Ridley. The Giants can't rush the passer. They have trouble with rushing the passer. We have trouble rushing the passer. This could be a fantasy fest itself. Give me Calvin Ridley, though, over DK Metcalf. Julio or Sutton versus the Jets. It's Sutton versus the Jets. With no Jerry Jeudy, what Courtland Sutton did last week against New York Jets, it's Courtland Sutton, folks. PPR flex, Drake versus Miami, Boyd versus the Steelers. I will go Boyd versus the Steelers, but it is very, very close. Trust your gut on that one. I do love Kenyan Drake this week. I am deploying him pretty much everywhere I have him, unless I'm super stacked at running back. Josh Allen or stack Carr with Waller. I will go Carr with Waller. I'll stack Carr with Waller. Actually, no. I disagree. No. It's tough. If this was like DFS, I'd maybe stack Carr with Waller and save some of my salary on at quarterback. But I'll go Josh Allen. I manage leagues, season long managed leagues. I gotta trust the talent there. Give me Josh Allen. Let's see, Miguel again, Carson or Madison. I think I answered that earlier. It's gonna be Madison for me, just by a hair. But they're both. Just trust your gut on that one. It truly is a coin flip. Goddard or Tunyon in PPR. I will go with Tunyon in PPR. Give me Tunyon. Let's see. Brennan, how do we feel about Zeke this week against that tough Philly run? I don't feel great about it, but I'm not gonna throw Zeke away in the garbage after 2 weeks. I'm just not. I'm not gonna over. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna overreact to just 2 weeks when we have 18. So like, I'll be fine. I'm playing Zeke. If I have Zeke, I didn't draft him in the top 8 to bench him in week 3. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm playing Zeke no matter what. Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts. We've seen this a lot. You're not benching Dak Prescott for Jalen Hurts. It's Dak Prescott. Let's see. I do not have Cook. Would you start Madison or DeAndre Swift? Boy, that's a tough one. I'll let the scoring system determine that. If it's standard scoring, I'll go with Madison. If it's PPR, I will go with Swift. Swift just has such a high ceiling. Cards D or Ravens D. I will go with Ravens D. Mike Snyder, Sanders or Gibson. I will go with Gibson over Miles Sanders. Andre Robinson need a tight end and a flex. Chase Claypool, Tyson Williams, Rondale Moore, Gronk or Kittle. I will go with Gronk over George Kittle. I will go with Chase Claypool over Tyson and Rondale Moore. For what it's worth, Tyson would be a play for me over Rondale Moore. A.J. Brown or Debo. It's going to be Debo for me this week. Tyler Higbee or Evan Ingram. I don't really like either one of them. I'll go Evan Ingram based on matchup, but I don't like it. I feel gross about it. I feel icky about it. Dan Masterman in a flex PPR. Trey Sermon, Javonte Williams, Quintez Cephas. Trey Sermon, baby. Trey Sermon. It's Trey Sermon day. Hashtag Sermon Army. Hashtag Sermon Hour. We've been waiting for this day, guys. Start Madison over Zeke? Absolutely not. There's got to be another option where you can start Madison over Brennan. Jacob Sweat, Damian Harris, Sony Michel, or Trey Sermon. I will go with Trey, Damian, and Sony in that order. I'm not touching Sony Michel. Hunt or Pollard, 1 point PPR. I will go with Kareem Hunt. Pittman or Chase Edmonds. I will go with Michael Pittman. Hey, Chris, start 1 PPR in my flex, Juju or Sutton. I will go with Cortland Sutton against the Jets. Mahomes or Murray. You're never benching Pat Mahomes. I'm sorry. You're never. Look, they're QB1 and QB2 for me right now in fantasy. Like, but I'm not sitting Pat Mahomes. Like, say it out loud. I'm going to bench Pat Mahomes. It sounds, if you say it out loud and it sounds stupid, it's probably stupid. So I'm not benching Pat Mahomes. I'm sorry. Jason Van Hughes, Big Mike Williams, or Christian Kirk. I will go with Big Mike Williams. Give me some BMW there. Got a couple today. Heineke versus Buffalo or Winston versus New England. I will go with Winston versus New England. Gabriel Davis versus Washington or Van Jefferson. Give me Gabriel Davis. Mark Pruitt, Edmonds or Madison. Madison for me easily. Gainwell versus Dallas. James Robinson versus Arizona. I will go with Kenny Gainwell. Singletary, Tim Patrick, Darnell Mooney, Fournette, 1 point PPR in the flex. I'll put them in order. I'll go Patrick, Fournette, Singletary, Mooney. Patrick, Fournette, Singletary, Mooney in that order. So Tim Patrick's going to be my number 1 choice there. I need a flex out of Rondale Moore, Jacoby Myers, or James White. Out of those, I'll just take the ceiling play, and I'll go with Rondale Moore there, regardless of whether or not Hopkins suits up, which he's expected to. Pollard or one of the Jay Williams. Oh, Jamal and Javonte. I'll take Tony Pollard over both, I think, this week. I'll go Tony Pollard over both. Gaskin, PPR, Gaskin or Davis or Edmonds. I'll take him in that order. That tells you, based on that tells you how bad I don't like Mike Davis. Gaskin, Edmonds, or Mike Davis. It's going to be Gaskin in that order for sure. John Fay, Madison or Mixon. You're not going to bench Joe Mixon, but I would try your best to get Madison in your lineup there. Superflex, Burrow or Diggs. Superflex, you're always starting a quarterback, especially when that quarterback is Joe Burrow. 150,000% of the time you're starting Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow could not agree more. Emphatically start Joe Burrow. Start Joe Burrow. Last one, Superflex. Well, not last one for me. Last one for this person. Superflex defense. Superflex defense. San Francisco versus Green Bay defense, or Green Bay versus San Francisco. I will go San Francisco defense versus Green Bay. CEH or Mike Davis. Give me CEH. Matt Poe, Allen Robinson, or AJ Brown. AJ Brown. Give me AJ Brown. Zach Myers, Boyd versus Pittsburgh, or Evans versus the Rams. Give me Tyler Boyd over Mike Evans. Edmonds, and I'll take Gibson over Chase Edmonds there as well. Lost Deontay and Higgins. Do I start Dallas Goedert or Tim Patrick? Bring up Michael Carter or Bryan Edwards from my taxi. I will actually bring up Bryan Edwards here. I don't know who you got to drop to clear out space. Well, if you're asking if you should start Dallas Goedert, that tells me you own 2 tight ends. So if you are in a redraft league, a 1 tight end league with shallow benches, meaning 5 to 7 bench spots, you can. I don't know who your starting tight end is, but you can cut a tight end. There is no reason to own 2 tight ends in a 1 tight end league, especially if your starting tight end right now is better than Dallas Goedert. So, like, if you have Rob Gronkowski, you're just going to cut Dallas Goedert. If you got Kittle or Pitts, or something, like, you're going to cut Dallas Goedert. So, cut a tight end and bring up Bryan Edwards. And I would start Bryan Edwards this week without Deontay Johnson or Higgins. Pick two and half-point PPR. Alex Madison, Mike Davis. This is easy. Alex Madison and Damian Harris, by a long shot. Not even close for me. Devontae Smith or Mike Williams. I'm going to take Devontae Smith this week. Competitive game tomorrow night. Give me Devontae Smith. Pick 2, Rondale, Devontae Smith, Melvin Gordon. I'll take the ceiling play with Rondale Moore and Devontae Smith. Tyson or Sony Michel. Tyson Williams, go TSW by a long shot. TSW, much better matchup, much better player. Give me TSW there. Daniel Sizemore, Mike Williams, or DeAndre Hopkins. You're starting DeAndre. You're never benching DeAndre Hopkins. I know you're worried about the injury. I get it, but it's DeAndre Hopkins. You can't bench him. Not on that offense, not with that quarterback, not against that football team. He's playing Jacksonville. You just can't. You start DeAndre Hopkins with one leg. He gets his leg amputated. You're starting DeAndre Hopkins today. Madison or Sermon, I will go. Well, look, it's a Sermon day. It's a Sermon day. But Madison, we've seen him do it before. He's going to get he's going to get the lion's share of the workload, and he's got a favorable matchup. So it's going to be Alex Madison over Trey Sermon for me there. Pollard or Hunt, I will go with Kareem Hunt. Half-point PPR, Higbee or Dallas Goedert. Give me Dallas Goedert. Swift or Damian Harris, Marvin Jones, Juju. Give me Swift, Juju, Harris, Marvin Jones in that order. But I will. You're choosing one. I'll take Swift. Clinton Garrett, Jalen Hurts, or Daniel Jones. I will go with Jalen Hurts. It's closer than people think, but I will go with Jalen Hurts. Go with Swift with his questionable status or roll with Sermon. I will take Swift over Sermon. Mitch Vaughn, do we trust Barkley this week? Yes. However, hold on. He says Jamar Chase is on his bench. I don't know who you can possibly take out for Jamar Chase. I would try to get Jamar Chase in your lineup, Mitch, but I don't think you're not against the Falcons. You're not taking Barkley out for Jamar Chase this week. Jeremy Lewis, Chase, Sermon, Devontae Smith, or Miles Sanders. Man, Jeremy, you got a stacked-ass team if those are your options for flex. Give me Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is going to be the guy for me. 1 point PPR, choose 3. Diggs, Evans, Thielen, Juju. You are never sitting Stephon Diggs. You're never sitting Adam Thielen. The third guy, I will start. It comes down to this. Evans getting covered by Jalen Ramsey, and Deontay Johnson is out. I will take Juju Smith-Schuster over Mike Evans this week. Let's see. Madison or Jonathan Taylor for Brendan Richardson. I will go with Jonathan Taylor. You're never going to bench Jonathan Taylor. I'm sorry. And I will never advise you to. I would try to get Madison in your lineup if you can. But Jonathan Taylor is going to be the one for me. A.J. Brown or Allen Robinson, full point PPR. I will go with A.J. Brown. It's close, but I'll go A.J. Brown. That's the one time you're going to bench Allen Robinson. Pick one, Pittman, Latavius Murray, or Fuller. Give me MPJ and then Will Fuller. I'll go the ceiling play with Will Fuller. I don't really like Murray or Fuller at all, but I will take Pittman if I'm choosing one. Rank them. Eckler, Carson, TSW, Sermon in standard. Always Eckler. You're never benching Austin Eckler. He is like matchup proof. You do not bench Austin Eckler. Don't. Eckler number 1, Carson 2, Sermon 3, TSW 4. That's where I'm going there. Goff or Ryan in a 2 QB league. You're going Matt Ryan against the Giants. Look, the Giants struggle just like the Falcons do. The Giants have really struggled to get pressure on the opposing quarterback. That's why I love Pitts this week. That's why I love Calvin Ridley this week, and that's why I love Matt Ryan this week. So those three, start the triplets. Start the Atlanta triplets. That's what I'm going with. So give me Matt Ryan for sure. Austin Baker, you trusting Sermon this week? You damn right I'm trusting Sermon. Sermon Army, baby. Hashtag Sermon Army. It is a Trey Sermon day. I'm feeling it today, especially if Elijah Mitchell does not play. Maybe it came across the wire that he's out, but I believe he is not going to suit up. So yeah, it's Trey Sermon all day for me. If Cook plays, Cook is not going to play. But if Cook plays for some reason, Damian Harris or CEH, it's going to be Damian Harris. Mitch Vaughn, Jamar Chase is still on the bench. Other wide receivers are Lockett, McLaurin. Running backs are Taylor, Swift, and Barkley. I'm going to be honest with you, and some people might be shocked. I'm going to bench Terry McLaurin for Jamar Chase. No T. Higgins, playing against the Steelers with no TJ Watt. I'm starting Jamar Chase over Terry McLaurin this week, and I'm feeling good about it. Austin Baker, would you play Sermon over Tyson or Juju? Yes, I would play Sermon over both. I like all three of them, but I'm taking Trey Sermon this week. Guys, it looks like that's the last question for now. If I didn't get to your question, tag me in the comments. I will do my best to get them after the show. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Best of luck in week 4. You guys enjoy the games. I